Hey, all, want to welcome you back to another edition of Printing Alive, the podcast. And today I am joined by two special people, one more special than the other. The specialist of the two would be Sheilae Siagian. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. It's Siagian. Say it for me properly.
Siagian.
You see, I didn't get it
You're
right.
almost there. You're almost there though.
But I've been practicing since we first spoke. And then we have the second most important person. We got Steve Falk from the Canadian Print Scholarship. How's it going, everybody?
Well, thanks for inviting us.
Thank you for inviting us.
How could I not invite you? So we don't really want to talk to Steve. He's just here to look good. But we want to talk to Sheila. So Sheila has the title now of, in our world of print, as the print nerd, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep, you got it.
Love it. So just tell my audience of a million, just who you are and what you're doing, and then we can go further into it.
Okay, so I'm right now is the second year in graphic communication management student at TMU, or Warren would like to say Ryerson. He doesn't like the new name.
No, I don't like the new name. I don't know why they changed it. TMU.
I wish I know too.
I didn't want to tell you what TMU sounds like, but let's continue. That's not why we're here.
So the print nerd is the project that we're going with. I'm working with Steve also with this to kind of promote the print industry towards the high schoolers, specifically grade 10s. So the goal is to just promote what print can do and what can we kind of do in the industry. So we go to plants and we film there. We do some niche stuff. We grab like mangas. We make like big posters and just film around and to kind of promote that print is not boring and it's a lot of fun.
Cool. So I have to ask you.
Yes.
How did you get into print?
I got into print, I think it was in grade 12. I was deciding what I want to do in university. I know I like arts, but I like the tactile feeling because I was in yearbook. So my teacher was just saying to me that I did graphic communication in TMU back then. And I'm like, okay, I look around it and whatever, and I see it's printing. It's more than just design. So I applied and I got into it and I went into it not really knowing about print. But in first year, there were like hands-on labs and stuff. I fell in love with print and I fell in love how tactile it is. I can play with inks. I can mix inks. It feels like art class. But from that on, I fell in love and it just keeps continuing until now.
You know, Warren, we hear this all the time about yearbooks being the entry drug for printing students studying post-secondary.
No, it's cool.
Yearbook printers alert. Like you have an entire world. Anyone who's organizing that in high school, they're possible candidates for your employees in the future.
Funny, because when I was in high school and they were doing the yearbook, I didn't want to know anything about it. It just seemed like a big hassle. But when it came out, I was pretty happy because I think I had the nicest picture in it. No, but yearbooks, listen, there's a few yearbook printers that are, really big and do really well because what a great memento to have at the end. Mm-hmm. Just put it in a safe place because I don't know where mine is these so many years later, right? Lost it somewhere. And then the other thing is when you go back to it at the end where you have your picture and everybody writes stuff and then they write abbreviations and initials and who even remembers what you wrote back then? So write it out fully, put it in a safety deposit box, and then you can go back and remember what it says 20, 30 years later. What's the most exciting thing for you about print? Or what's the one thing that really just makes you go,
Okay. I feel like one thing that makes me feel like that is definitely having it from digital or like even designing it to actually seeing it in process. Cause like I did like digital graphic design in high school and the only thing I see is my screen. I don't really like that. Like I have to sit in my table like for hours just on my screen, but I like how I can go to the machine. I can be so like technical with it, being like hands-on, just putting all the stuff in. Even in class, we did like flexo. We have to put all the stuff in, the blades, the plate, everything. We tape it off. It's just fun. I know a lot of people think it's like, oh, it's so tedious. You have to do all this, but I feel like that's the fun of it. There's a lot of steps on it. Yeah, but then I just like how you can touch from like the plates and then you see the paper going on and you can see the mistakes. But then when it's actually done, you feel like really relief and you feel like, oh, you did a lot and you achieved it. So I just really like that feeling.
Love it. And actually, so with the tactile feeling, what's really big in print right now is embellishments. right? With
Yeah.
so all the UV, the raised UV, the UV, the spot varnishes,
Embossing, yeah.
the embossing. And actually, I have a friend, Kevin Abergel, who has Tactile. You should check them out online. All that fun stuff. But actually, what I find most interesting on what you said so far is that you find it fun,
Yeah.
right? Because when I think about print, not only could it be fun, but it's also emotional, right? You see things that are printed that warm your heart. There's things that piss you off. There's big posters that are outside. It's just, it connects with you in so many different ways,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Are your friends into print?
Definitely people in my program are into print. I don't know if they're that passionate, but they're there. But it's harder to talk with my other friends who's like in like different programs. They're like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "I'm doing print." I'm like, "What do you mean you do print?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I go to labs and I like do machines, and they're like, "Oh, that's what you do?" And then I have to explain the whole like lore about what I'm doing. But then at the end of the day, they understand.
So, but do they ever like now go when you pick up something and you could say, "Hey, this started off like this, and now look at it."
Not really, just because I don't think people really understand. Even my mom still don't understand sometimes. She's like, "So what do you do in school?" And I have to actually bring the stuff I do in school, and I'm like, "This is actually what I do." And then she understands it, kind of. But yeah.
You don't just say to her, "I have fun."
I said I have fun, and she's like, "So what do you do? What do you have fun?" I'm like, "I print." "So you just play with things?" I'm like, "Yeah, kind of."
Inks and canisters.
Ink and canisters and some machines and plates. But yeah.
Cool. And just because we're early on and people listen to podcasts early on and don't always make it to the end, all these videos that you've done, where do you post them? Where could people see them?
Right now, we're doing it on LinkedIn, right, Steve? And also YouTube. That was our like main ideas. And we also have a whole package to give out to other companies that they want to help us share. And yeah, that's the only two main platform, right, Steve?
Yeah. So the idea was that one of the national organizations for print would open up some of the other social channels that younger people use, Instagram, TikTok. So we're working with them. What we're doing is, as Sheila creates these videos, we just put them in an archive, and then we give somebody kind of a private login. So any organization, whether they're like a print association, a printer, can take Sheila's videos and then use them for their own promote printing, promote themselves, self-promotion. We don't care as long as Sheila the print nerd gets out there. And what we get is we get a point of view that maybe a grade 10 student, when they're taking careers, which is a required course in Canada in grade 10, that they look and go, "Oh, yeah, there's a younger person talking about print. Maybe I should check it out." And we just did a test the other day, Sheila, Mike and I. Mike's the executive director, Mike
Mhm.
Talash of Print Scholarships. And we did some Google searches like a grade 10 was, and your videos go up already.
Let's
Like
go.
it's starting to be, if you're starting to look for stuff, you'll see it there.
So you should probably have its own Print Nerd Instagram page. Do we have that?
We were hoping that CPIA would do it. We think it should be from a national organization rather than from herself.
Warren is not agreeing with that.
We didn't want to give Sheila a career at this. We wanted it to be an organization that kind of managed.
Well,
it. You're right.
whoever does your posts could just include the link there and put them up. But I think Sheila, you should set up like today. The Print Nerd Instagram and own it. Have it. The name, own it. It's yours. And then you could put copies up there and do your hashtagging and get some movement going because you'll build your own algorithm, right? I just think you have a better opportunity if you do it. Now, they could have an old person posting the videos for you if they want. But if it's in your name under the Print Nerd, like the Print Whisper, we should have a contest. You can get more contacts. You'll probably win. But if you do it, and then you get to post all your stuff there, you get to post it as some stories or reels, right? Or just as regular posts. And then they're always there because I'm just going to say it, but waiting for print owners is like, it's like another Ace Age is coming.
You may be right, Warren, on that one.
No, because they're not going to do anything, right? Even
we
when
we want to be participatory and give an opportunity across these organizations.
Yeah.
You bring out a good point.
Listen, yeah,
We may be crossing that bridge.
all that makes real sense, and you could be really respectful, but the bottom line is there's not enough old people doing enough stuff for young people. And I could bring up Pac Global and that whole meeting they had where there was no young people at the table, just old men in dark suits. Doesn't do any industry any good. Right. And then actually from that, you open it up, I'll start posting and tagging, and we can go back and forth. And then maybe with the print nerd, we have some type of contest with we come up with a really good prize, right? Maybe it's a P5 or something station or a PlayStation or whatever. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, like just let's go to the market of what people want and get them to listen. And maybe they got to go around. Is TMU's like Timu, right? Isn't that like a low end thing for selling products? Timu?
Timu is like it's a
Yeah.
I'm
Chinese
just
word.
kidding. No, but maybe we do something within the school where it's for more students to get involved in this, and there's a benefit to them. And at the same time, we teach a little bit about print. We can't rely on the old people to go out and do it. And I put myself in the old category. I just happen to have a little more energy than some of them, right? So, okay. So, Steve, we'll let you talk for a moment or two. Tell us a little bit so that in case people don't know about the print scholarship.
That's great. Thanks, Warren. So the Canadian Print Scholarships has been around for over 40 years. It was a bunch of old guys who look forward to
That had hair.
That a
probably
hair.
at that time they did, and they started this fund, and it continues to give scholarships of $1,500 throughout at TMU's case throughout the 4 years. So they get $6,000 while they study graphic communication management. So there's 5 or 6 schools. We're learning about new schools all the time who receive these, and I think we're somewhere up around 85 scholarships right now every year.
85 scholarships a year.
Yeah.
That's
So
great.
yeah. So the most of our biggest recipient is TMU. They have the biggest program. They're right here in Toronto. I think some of the inspiration for the program came because of printers that were in Toronto and saw that program, which used to have Heidelberg, the big Heidelberg sponsorship and all that kind of stuff. Our goal is to, get young, talented people to think about the print industry and support them with some funds to stay in that program so that we can connect them to kind of a print community of vendors, of printers themselves, and the people who are working in that industry through the various social media channels we do and events and stuff. So we go to everything from job fairs to open houses to student award nights, whatever, and we try to be part of that community, Warren. So I think it was a good idea when it started, and it's trying to keep up with technology and things. And I think we took one step further. Last year we started a committee that helped Sheila become a thing, which was a committee that said, like, how can we attract young people to this? And we ran a report that basically said young people start thinking about this in grade 10. They have to take a careers course in grade 10 and they have to choose where they're going. And printing had no grade 10 suitable information on the internet. There was nothing. So we decided we would try and get Sheila to start putting some information out there that would make it seem a little bit more interesting.
Oh, I think it's awesome. Listen, I think it's important. I don't hear us talking about it like this, but print is another trade. I hear a lot of people saying that, go into the electrical trade, go into the plumbing trade, go into those type of trades. There's a lot of money. What people should be hearing is you should get into the printing trade because not only could you make good money, press operators are in far demand. So you almost get to call your number out a little bit, not too much because we got to be careful, but you could make I think nobody makes under $20 an hour in the world of print. And if you're on a press, you could be earning upwards of $35 to $40 an hour plus your overtime. If you're on a digital press, depending on your experience, the same thing. And the good thing versus those other trades is you're generally working in a nice environment as opposed to, if you're working in someone's toilet or a electrical box in their basement, you could be working in a brand new, beautiful plant. And all the technology that's happening in print today, be it the software or the actual machines, automation, you don't get dirty in print anymore. Inks come in canisters, they come in tubes, they come pipes right from the big drums into the machine. Even paper cuts are less because the folding machines have more preset folding on it. So I don't think we market ourselves or talk about it in the right way to people because it's another trade and it's a big trade.
Sheila, what do you think? Is when you talk to other people in the school, or you think about what you read about what you're getting into as a young person, do you think of it as a trade, like electrician, like plumber, like in these are trades that, but printing, how do you view that?
I think it's definitely a trade. And there's a lot of like what like Warren said, right now there's like a lot of more jobs, not only even a press operator, because now we have like workflow and all other stuff. You're right, like it's basically we're not like dirty anymore because it's you're right, all the inks are on cans and when we have workflow, everything all just work from the flow when you already setting it up. And yeah, I think it's better than plumbing if I
Yeah,
can be biased, but yeah.
I read somewhere that Vistaprint nearly hires exclusively engineers.
Yeah.
Vistaprint, they're not a printing company, they're a technology company.
Yeah, and so, but
Yeah.
I think we think of them as a technology company, but I think the other companies that we call are actually technology companies. Like STEM is printing. You need to have
Them is yeah.
an understanding of technology and electronics and digital and workflow and then materials how they act. It's by definition, it's a STEM trade.
We just lost my thought there, but
You
yeah,
can't you
no.
can't quote anything without having mathematics. You can't figure out how your business is doing without having an idea of finances. Like you can't.
Listen, this is the other thing about print. And I don't care what your business is. Everybody needs some form of print, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if you're doing software, you're printing backup manuals to have because in case everything goes down. So you have everybody has some signage. Everyone says print is dead, which makes me crazy. And you should never have those two words in the same sentence, no matter what. It's not because they're only thinking of business cards, maybe stationery and little things like that. Packaging's off the roof, out of just shooting through the roof. Labels are through the roof. Large formats on fire. Direct mail also. How do you reach people now? More and more people direct mail. I was reading something yesterday that somebody wrote, or they had numbers. I didn't ask them where they got the numbers, but a lot of young people are appreciating direct mail, appreciating having something in their hand in
There's
print.
Cool.
I'm
I
writing
have a
right
lot of
now. Direct mail.
love
Right?
that.
Works.
It's a great way to reach people. I mean, without print, the world doesn't function. And I don't know if we in print have even given ourselves enough credit to know that the world cannot function without print. Right? Just from you're going to a hospital directions, you're going to IKEA to put well, I won't use IKEA because I always have parts left over, so I don't know how good their instruction manuals are. But, to packaging on soup cans, medication, without any of it, you're not eating, you're not cooking, and you're not taking your medication. So where are you going? And if you get into a city with no directions, because you can't always follow ways, takes you to dead ends sometimes. It's just needed. It could be language free, even just using pictures. But it's so important. So I don't think we give enough credit to ourselves, and we have to do that, and then we have to promote it to the outside because the outside's not going to promote it.
Well,
And
Warren, Sheila got a chance to visit, I don't know, half a dozen different printing facilities. So I guess she got a chance that many students don't get a chance to do.
Yeah.
Sheila, what are some of your impressions? Like think through some of the places you went and the people you met and think about people and process.
tell me the names of some of the places.
We went to Kober. We went to Spicer's.
Forget Spicers. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's go back to Kober. Because everybody at Kober and Todd especially should be given credit. They're just on a blow up stage. They've just new building, new technology,
Yeah,
little
it was
robots. Kudos to him and for what. So yeah. So when you I'm already freaking out just because of everything he does. But so when you went there, just tell us what'd you see.
I think going there, I know, I've heard how they have better, more advanced technology. But when we're actually there, it was more than I thought. There's cranes and there's just technology going around. They don't need people to push stuff. They already have robots going around, and I'm like, I need that. I think all printing companies need that. I feel like that's so cool, and they even name it. So I'm like, wow. And they have this offset printing, automatic, and I was like, what the? I've never seen it from other places, and I think that's our last. I think it was our last plant that we visited. I think, right? But it was like the most craziest thing
Yeah, that
ever.
plate changer, right, on that six by
Yeah.
10, it just lifts the
It was
plates up,
a
the robot arm puts the new plates in, and
yeah.
that alone
It
just
was so automatic. There's still people there to like monitor it, but the automatic thing was like life changing.
Well, you're gonna always need people, first of all.
Yeah,
Even with all
absolutely.
this AI stuff, it's another tool in the box, right? But in print, where that comes in handy is, and this is where, it's good for people to know, we need more people. If we had more people,
Yeah.
we wouldn't be doing some of that automation stuff. And then there's a lot of companies that can't necessarily afford some of that automation
Mhm.
stuff because it's really expensive. So if you're listening and you want to learn a trade, call me. I know plenty of companies that can use different people at all levels. And I keep coming back to that because it's just so important, right? It's just fun. So what other companies did you go to?
We went to Spicer's, we went to Marquis. It's a book printing
Their book
company,
people?
which is where it was really fun going to Marquis because they also give us a specific manga to kind of film. And then this was, I think, was it in December? I think it was in December that we filmed this. And I think a few weeks ago, I was walking to Indigo and I saw the manga on display and I took picture to Steve and I was like, it's so cool to see it from production to actually in Indigo itself. And Steve was like, full circle. And I was like, yes, it is. And I feel like it's so cool, even though I'm not producing it, but I'm filming it, but seeing from like the whole like book and then onto like the spray edges. And I was like, it's so cool to see it on your hand in public after that. Yeah.
I think I used to go to companies when I was selling, and I would always ask them if they would show us their manufacturing process. Didn't matter, like on my YouTube at home, it's always on is like, how'd you make that? Because I think it's the coolest thing that
It is. Yeah.
no matter what you pick up, had to have been made a certain way.
Yeah.
And the more I see, the more I know, gets me thinking more on, other ideas, other opportunities to offer to other people's suggestions. But when I would go to customers, I'd say, I don't even want to talk about print. I want to see what you're doing in the back first, if you'll have me. And that's a great lead in to working with someone because you're already showing and expressing your interest in what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right. And
I
if you don't know
agree.
what they're doing, how are you going to offer up some ideas and, some suggestions on how they can maybe
Suggestions.
improve?
Yeah,
So
we
it's,
went to TI Group too, right? They were really welcoming.
yeah,
Yeah, they really give it
Renee
a
does a smashing job over there leading the company.
but they were amazing. They have like a lot of paper samples and it was so cool. Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, I still get actually my favorite samples come from Sappy paper. So Sappy always does the nicest sample books. I think they probably spend, I don't know today, but the most money or they have. Daniel Dejean, before he retired a bunch of years ago, he was in charge of everything. Like all their book, you just sit there and you just want to rub them, and then your hands go over like the
You
little
just wanna
raised
feel them.
spots. Yeah, no, it's like print porn. It's you laugh, but I don't know how to better describe a good uplifting feeling, right? Because I've been to meetings where I had a 56-inch press from KBA, and when we got it, we printed some promo stuff, and one of them was a 56-inch poster that was with a green apple smell. And we had the green apple smell from Centisphere. And you go into meetings, and I'd always open it, leave it on the table, and then the room would smell like green apple, right? Which is a
Ooh.
nice smell. But then people would sit there and just rub their hands and go throughout the whole meeting, and it's like, I didn't care what they were doing. You just keep hanging on to that paper, or we did plastic cards that smelled like bubble gum. So there's so many things. And, we were saying before emotion, but it's can touch, there's a touch, feel,
Yeah, the
smell,
feel.
lots of senses get used when you're in print.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
super important. It's recording
Yeah,
in
most
progress.
of the places we went to had grads from print schools, and but it wasn't an accident, but all of them were sponsors of the Canadian Print Scholarships as well. So
Yeah.
they got with the program pretty quickly. But these are very supportive organizations that Sheila's mentioned, and we would see students, graduates, right, at these places or interns. Interns are
So
great.
let's give some kudos to some of the organizations that support the Print Scholarship and donate money every year. Could you name a few?
You know what? The best place to see all 50 of them, because it would take
50.
too long,
Yeah,
is
everybody's
our
going there. No,
website.
forget
But
that. No one's going there right now. Give me the top 5 or 10 that come to
Name
mind.
it. Name it.
so Canada Banknote, Pollard banknote, Spicer's, great sponsor, has been a consistent sponsor. But TI Group, Marquee, Kober. You know what? I'll shout out to Transcon. We can't seem to get a hold of those guys anymore. They dropped us a while ago, and so much transition there. We'd love to be connected because we know they hire
Yeah.
students and do interns.
So now would be a good time to ask Jamie because he just sold to Transcontinental and he probably knows the right people to see. Right?
PDI Jamie
Group
has been off and on a sponsor of the Print scholarships, and I think that covers some of them. And there's going to be others here. People like the Digital Imaging Association have sponsored us. OPIA sponsors us. The Print Forward from BC sponsors
Does
us as
Atlantic
well.
Packaging sponsor?
You betcha. They're actually quite a sizable. Greg Platt.
No, I only asked because I've been to their place, their display business, and they have a beautiful business there.
And
right,
as I said, there's, for me to go through them quickly, but we also have trustees, and so those guys come from many of the companies that I just described, and they come quarterly and weigh in on what the organization should do and participate in trying to find new sponsors and involving their companies and getting interns and that kind of things.
So do we want to call out any big companies that don't take your phone call or give any money to support young people?
I think I already did one. Transcon does, for some reason, it just doesn't have a coordinated organization where I can talk to somebody that's too big.
But I think they do. Actually, I think they do in Quebec at the Graphic Art Institute.
I think so.
I think they have, but I mean,
and they may be more connected, say, with the Gutenberg or something like that, and people associated.
I'm not worried about Transcon because they hire, they give back. But no, I mean, give me the names of some print companies that are really stubborn. You don't have to, but you could tell me on the side and I'll call them. I just think everybody should do their part, if they're going to look for people and they're going to try and, get the benefits out of the industry.
We're doing a little bit to try and reach into Quebec because Sheila's going to be highlighted in the main foyer of the Gutenberg Gala this year.
Cool.
Yeah, so some of our videos are going to be.
Are you going to be there?
No, we're not going to be there. It's just my video on the TV.
All right.
One step at a time.
One step at a time.
I'll be there, so I will stand under it and do a little video with it in the background. And I'll send it to you so that you could take it and use it. But
let's go.
You know what? The Gutenberg, actually, they have a pretty good turnout for their awards event.
Yeah. Kudos to Stefan Abraham, who is a member of the trustees and I think involved in that organization and has helped us liaise with them and get connected a bit. So we're developing a little bit stronger relationship with Quebec because of that. Some of the schools have closed in Quebec that, Hunsett College used to have a program. We're trying to connect now with Ruben Acevedo over at Rosemount College, which has a program.
Yeah. So actually Rosemount, we used to do work, getting to work with them. We would have their students come over once, twice a year. I would break them into groups, give them the tours, walk them through the whole plant. And then at the end, I would give them, some of our marketing and portfolio so they can go home and give it to their parents in case they bought print. I always try to plant something somewhere. And then at the same time, saying to all the students that when you graduate, please give me a call first because we had you here and I could have first chance at getting you if you want to stay in the print. Right? So
Sheila, has your print nerd activity helped you with, do you have to do an internship this summer?
Not this summer. It has to be third year.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember when we went to TI Group, she was telling me that if I need an internship, you're welcome. You're welcome. But it's a third year thing, so it's going to be next year.
No, but important for people listening, other programs at school, you have opportunity for placement. You have opportunity to go see. And I think in a lot of cases, when you do those placements, it's hard to find good people today. So when people actually allow you to come in and you do a good job, they want you to come back.
Yeah,
so it makes it
absolutely.
a little easier. Listen, nothing's easy out there today, right?
True.
Print especially. So if we fast forward and you're at the end of your third year, where do you see yourself going or doing?
That's a hard question. I have a lot of interest right now.
I can't ask just easy questions,
It's actually a 4-year program to start with.
Okay, 4 years.
It's a 4.
What do I know? No one tells me anything.
So for my internship or when I graduate?
Okay, both.
Both. Okay. Internship, I want to do something hands-on, like maybe project manager, because I want to oversee everything. I don't like being just in one thing. I like looking at a lot of stuff that's related. I just like being looking at everything and then see it at the end. But we'll see from there. I would absolutely love to like continue with the same like company because also they possibly already know me after graduation and just continue there. And I feel like that's a really fun job.
Have you worked on different equipment? Touched different equipment?
Only in labs because we only have like certain equipment. We have like a
Tell me about the
flexo.
equipment. Who's
We
Flexo
have
Press?
I don't remember actually. It's a really really old machine. My prof keeps on saying it. This is like really really old, and we have offset,
What offset?
and we don't have.
Do you know?
I don't remember. Yeah, I think he's Heidelberg. Yeah.
Well, it's old and it's Heidelberg. So Komori and KBA or Coing Bauer now have a chance to put an offset press into the school because
Ooh.
you have an old Heidelberg, right?
The offset one, I don't know how old it is, but I know the flexo one. If we can get a new one, please give us a new machine.
So if I say
Flexo people out
names, will it come back to you? Is it
We
a
don't know.
Gallus? Is it a Neil Peter? Is it a Mark Andy? Is it an Aquaflex?
I don't know.
No?
The thing is, I don't think the logo is even there. It's like that
Fell
old.
off. Felt that old, eh?
I
well,
think it's fell off. Yeah.
so to Mark Andy, to Heidelberg Gallus, to Niels Peters, you have a chance now to put a machine into a school where young people will
Yes,
know your
please.
brand,
Yes,
right?
please.
I know that some of the digital stuff you have is pretty recent, right? You have some
Our digital is
digital
pretty
folding and
recent.
cutting equipment.
Who's
Yeah.
That one
that?
is pretty recent. Definitely the
Who's
flexo. That's old.
who's the digital?
Name me
No,
names.
Rico, I
Xerox.
think, is one of the
Rico.
people.
What's
Rico has
Rico?
some stuff in there.
It's Rico. I'm pretty sure. But I think that's the only one we have new. I
Okay,
think
well,
it's Rico.
kudos to Rico. I mean, Xerox couldn't give you one because their stock price is so low right now. Rico's a good one to have on there. They've got some pretty cool stuff. And does it have like fourth, fifth colors, 5 or 6 colors on it?
We only have like I think fifth.
Okay,
Yeah.
so at least you
Which
have
is
the
I think
option for the fifth.
it's clear varnished.
Okay, well,
That's
maybe they'll
all.
come back and upgrade it to one of the other specialty colors that they have.
Yes, please.
Yeah, white or what does Christine Yardley always have? She's got
She's got all the colors.
eight gold,
People
silver.
have everything.
You know,
Yeah.
if it can be embellished, Christine has it.
Yeah, no, you
Yeah, because
want.
like
Sorry, go ahead.
in one of our labs, we have to make portfolio right now, and I think I talked to Steve about this, and we want to make it like either gold or silver foil, but we can't even print it like in our building. We have to bring it out and then give it back to students after.
So have you got partners who are allowing you to print at their site for those
Yeah,
projects?
it was the place that I told you that Donna wants to film.
Yeah.
Well, if you
Oh yeah,
What's
Donna
her
was
name?
involved in that. Yeah, okay.
Konica Minolta.
Konica
Yeah,
Monica Minolta
Minolta.
stuff.
Yeah, no, Konica
they're
has
the one
some
who's gonna help
nice
us.
equipment. But if after you want to get me the names of the equipment or things that you've used that you thought was good, I'll do a little video, put it out there, and let them know that you appreciate it, that school appreciates it,
I'll do
and
it.
we'll let their
Yeah,
competitors know that there's an opportunity if they want to bang out their competitor and put something new into the school. They're more than welcome, right? That's
absolutely.
or they could even actually, when they take in a machine that's, relatively not that old, they could put it in there instead of giving it away or, doing something else with it. So many options, but we have to go
I
after these
know.
companies and stay with it. But that's pretty good. So, and your other friends, can you get them to come into print?
If I convince them, yeah, probably. They love because I also do like filming for my Instagram. I have my like own studio and I do like packaging and stuff. And some of like my friends back home even they ask me like, "Oh, is this what you do?" And they're thinking like it's really interesting because also I don't think print is that big back home. So even from there, like a lot of people are seeing the content and think that there that is something to do other than like other stuff that they know now.
So where's back home, if I may ask?
It's Indonesia.
There's tons of printing in Indonesia and packaging, tons of
But
manufacturing.
for program wise, we don't have any graphic
For
communication.
school wise.
Yeah, so they're not really exposed to the industry
So
as much as even now.
idea for your Instagram page, the Print Nerd, when you set it up later today, you could go into stores and just pick things up and talk for 30 seconds or 60 seconds about them. Actually, if you go into my YouTube channel, my daughter did a short video on embellishments and UV varnish. She was with her husband at a supermarket, and I didn't even know she was doing it, and she just did it. And she picked it up, and she went on all about the fifth color and the embellishments and the shine and the touch and the feel. And she's like, my dad doesn't think we listen, but we do listen. And, she goes, I don't even like this stuff, but the packaging looks so good. I had to try it.
Yeah.
Right.
She's drinking the Kool-Aid. She's drinking the
Yeah.
Kool-Aid.
But the point is, I didn't even know that she even listens to me ever. And now she was doing a video, had lots of views on it, which was really nice. But I think
Ooh.
it's another way when you do those informative short videos on things that your friends are touching and using, and you could figure out how it's done. It'll make people think a little more, right? And they say statistics that when you got something embellished or shiny that stands out, somebody's more inclined to buy it. So you could talk
Yeah.
about stuff like that makes them aware. I go in to buy liquor, wine. I buy for the label. I don't care what's in the bottle. I'll buy with the nicest label and pray to God after I like it. Right? I mean, you can only make the mistake once, but it's just so important. So, Steve, what's big happening with the print scholarship? What are we doing to make things happen here?
Well, I mean, we have a meeting coming up in a couple of weeks. What we're trying to decide is like how this foundation, which has some money to try and encourage young, bright people to keep in the industry, whether or not there's other opportunities for us to fund things. Just in a talking phase right now, but scholarships, like for the last 40 years, has worked pretty well. But we're looking for input from other people on ways that we could get young people interested. Sheila's an example, but maybe, for instance, we have to help organizations like a printing company afford an intern. Maybe one of the reasons they don't get an intern to encourage a young piece is they have some financial struggles with that. So maybe we don't support only just getting people into school. Maybe there's internships. I see you shaking your head.
I'm saying it's
We're looking for.
I'm saying it's the lack of up here. It's not the dollars.
You're right. Some of that is foresight, but sometimes you can action that and have discussions. If you say we're going to make it a little bit easier because we think that young people should be in this industry, and so hire an intern and we'll give you an incentive. But our main goal is to find ways of saying, hey, there's the industry to thrive needs young people entering, thinking it's a neat industry, learning it from the ground up. And, especially with the amount of retirement we're going to get just because the baby boom's moving through, there's a great need for us to kind of get the industry talking about itself. You're doing your part, Warren. We know that you're doing that. And we're trying to find other ways where we can take the resources that we have at our disposal to that same end.
So, all that to say, and don't take this the wrong way, but it's not the bald guys. We have to get into some of these companies. Wow. You're lucky. You got a whole head
Bald
of hair.
guys.
Well, what do you want to call us?
So we have
an old, right? I'll
So
still
we
drink
have
you under
I'll
I'll still party you
which
under
is
the
an
table.
excellent.
But no, what
Your
I was
point,
going
which
to
is an
say
excellent one.
was we need
Yeah.
to get the younger people in some companies to be on a committee and to promote. We need to reach out to maybe owners and ask who in their company they would identify, because the owners are going to be useless.
Yes.
I'm not
We have been filling our latest board trustee members have come from exactly that kind of outreach. So we have some excellent new board members coming who are younger, who are less bald. And one of the things that we're proposing is a youth committee that will maybe have people of Sheila's age advising us on certain aspects, partly to fill the pipeline ourselves of who's going to be the new set of trustees and influencers in our organization. So, Warren, you amplify what we're trying to seize upon. Like we do need
So
to
why
get
don't you just
more
call
young
them
people.
the young print influencers, and don't make a crazy committee title, and they don't have to be like, first of all, the fuck is a trustee? Trust, they're a trustee. What, you trust them? What does that mean? Nothing, right? So find some terminology that these young people are going to appreciate and not an old term. Trustees, like when you're dying. He's the
Yeah,
trustee of my
I would agree
will,
with you
right?
100%.
The trustee of my
We're
will.
actually not looking for trustees in this particular thing.
No, but you
For
know
the
what I'm
younger
saying,
people,
right? Board
I know what
member.
you're
What
saying.
is a board member? It's like, no, come up with some fun, crazy names that we could, Sheila, get your students to come up with some, say to them, put a contest together or get your
Make
team
a name for
project.
the trustee.
Yeah,
Well,
you're
just
taking over.
we need a name for a
Hey, by the
young
way,
group. We need a name for a young group of people getting into print that will represent who they are, that will make them feel good about being called that, because nobody really likes labels and Gen Z, Gen X, Gen this, whatever the fuck it all means. But come up with something funny. Maybe the first event starts off at a bar and there's printed coasters, like, I don't know. I'm just trying to think creatively out of the box. What do young people like to do? Where do they go? Maybe we call up Labatt and have a party in their marketing department because they have so much swag and it's all printed. Actually, I know someone at Labatt. I know a young guy. I can call him after if you remind me. No, but we have to get, I hate the term thinking out of the box, but we have to get the hell out of the box, right? And I was talking to an association. I was talking to a young fella at an association because I was thinking of starting an association for under 40, just, something to do. So I was reaching out to some people just to find out what they thought about it. Would they join? Would they do? A lot of young people were into it, and in the end, I didn't do it because it's just Canada was a little small, and I don't know if I could be working in the States like that. But anyways, I phone up this young fella, and he's all excited. He says, "Oh my God, you get it!" And I said, "What do I get? What do you mean?" He said, "Well, I'm working here in an association and I'm having an event for young people. And our director comes up to me and says, make sure you get to the marketing person because we want to brand it like the rest of our stuff. So you want to make it shit like the old people stuff and sell it to the young people? Like, again, I'm not so young, but I'm not that old and dumb, right? Where you got to pass the torch on. If you want young people, you got to make room for them at the table. It's not rocket science.
100%.
Yeah.
I guess as I get a little older and less hair and crabbier, I have less patience listening to the same nonsense or the same conversation over and over again. Like if I wore a tie today, I'd probably hang myself. It's so bad, the conversation. That's why I don't wear ties. It's safer.
Your passions are inflamed on this issue.
No, because you know what? Because it's a problem, right? Or people, you have to invest. And the older generation, right? Salespeople. Everybody wants someone to come in and work on commission. What world are you living in today? Who's coming in to help you build your business and try for 6 months before you throw them out to work for free? It's a mentality that just doesn't, it just doesn't work today. I just had that with someone the other day who called me up and they've got a product and he's like, well, I'd like you to help me promote it and sell it and we can work on something like commission. And I looked at him and I'm like, buddy, like, what's wrong with you? What world do you come in? I said, you're calling me for something, a channel or whatnot, and commission? I said, no, if you don't got the money to play, don't play. Right? Because no one's working for free. I'm not working for free. I don't think you're working for free. Right? And there's no way Sheila could work for free because how's she going to pay the rent when she has to move out of the house? So it's
Full disclosure, she is a paid consultant for these
Yeah.
projects that she works with the
Awesome.
Canadian Print Scholarships. We want to make sure that we're paying people for the work that they do to promote this industry. And
no, and listen, at the same time, if people are doing things, you need to pay them. Period. But anyways, I think that's cool. So what's our next video going to be on?
I think we still have some content from previous places because we talk always. Some of the places we film like 2 kind of like videos. So those stuff are gonna come soon. And yeah,
I think
some
there's
of them
one on paper samples.
yeah, one of them are in paper samples. Yeah, I
And
think
then
I
at,
did
at
stickers.
Cobra, we did one on, did we do one?
We did on specifically, I think, offset because it was so amazing.
Digital, maybe they do yearbooks there. We could do something
Yeah.
like that.
We did that, but
We're trying to find a really good, Warren, somebody who's wrapping vehicles. Interesting wraps. We went to a car wrap place and they had small scale wrapping, but we want to get somebody who's wrapping a streetcar or a bus or
like the machine.
or a truck.
Reach out to 3M and ask them who their installers are. They're professionals, dollars for
Okay.
car reps,
Ooh.
right? And then, you know, you connect with them. And is 3M a sponsor of the Canadian print?
They're not. No. So
No,
might
they're
be a good
not.
Well,
segue into
if
that.
somebody from them is listening to this, you guys sell a lot of stuff to the print industry, to the large format industry. It'd be nice if you kick in something and help us out. See, it's little things like that. Then you could just take the podcast after, make a little commercial, use
We'll
me in a 30
mention that
second,
you can
use
just
me.
listen to this podcast at minute
Yeah.
Well, I know, but
48.
right. But no, they're not going to listen. You got to cut it out and put it there
You
and
gotta
tag
clip
them.
it. You gotta clip it. Yeah.
Right. No, exactly. And by the way, anything that you post, tag me in, because I'll comment and share it. No
Absolutely.
problem.
Thank you.
Right. And
Thank
tag
you
more
for it.
people. And when you go to a company, tag the company, or go on their LinkedIn and look for young people and tag them too. Right. Are we going to have like a young print party or something just because?
I would love that.
Okay. Well, let's make it
I
happen.
think you should do it at Print United when you get Sheila invited down there. We'll
You
have
can have a party.
we'll
Well,
get a Las Vegas
hopefully they call you
young
back.
people in print party.
I did mention, now Vegas actually sucked, but no, it's too much of a party. No, but maybe in Toronto, I don't know when the next graphics show is. Do you know?
Graphics Canada.
Next year?
Graphics Canada has been a good sponsor, and I believe they're not due. Well, they just passed this April without one, so it'll be next April probably.
Okay,
Mhm.
well, then let's maybe
He's
we plan.
actually Dan Mustata has often tried to think like how could he get more young people out to the show, and he proposed dinners and dances and live music, all kinds of things he's thrown around. It just hasn't stuck to the wall exactly. He's a big proponent of that. We could work with him.
I don't know if he's
Definitely. I
thinking
think
about the
that's a good
same party
idea.
that I'm thinking about, but right?
You know, it's going to be all his branding, so it looks like
It's not happening. No, it
he'll
doesn't.
let
We don't need that.
he'll let
We don't.
Sheila be the party organizer.
No, but you know what? No, but if the show's happening, then let's do something meaningful, and it doesn't have to be with the old people, right? We just need their money for the sponsor to make it happen. But no, really, do something. Anyways, we could talk offline because I think there's so many things that have to be done
Yeah. Absolutely.
and that we will
It's gonna
do.
be fun.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. You know, so anything I could do to help always.
Well, we appreciate it, Warren.
Yeah, talk is cheap if you don't do anything.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I mean, listen, I could say whatever I want to say. You know, one thing I learned is to wear smaller shoes because they're easy to get out of my mouth if they get stuck if I say something wrong. But I don't really think I say that much wrong. I think I just say what people think but don't want to say. So I'm a spokesperson for a lot of people. They just don't want to admit it. So we're going to go with that one. So anyways, before we wrap up, anything final, Steve? Because I'm going to have Sheila with the final words. Anything you want to add?
No, just that it's been very successful having Sheila join us in this venture. She just took it and got very creative with it. And I think everyone who's been involved with it has been very proud of the work you've done. So good work, Sheila. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. So Sheila, you have to find the next person that can come up after you. No, really, because you're going to graduate next year. And then what?
In 2 years. In 2 years.
Okay. So, but if you find now and you're there next year, every 2 years, we have someone in the wings. Right, to pass the torch on, and they get to learn. The junior gets to learn from the senior before the senior moves on, and before you know it, maybe we have a whole little
It's
group.
a franchise, Print Nerd 2.
Print Nerd Part 2, 2.0, 2.0.
Yeah, you know, get a little hat, get a little shirt, get a little swag, and we got to listen. If we make it fun and interesting and entertaining, we will attract people. But we need outspoken, funny, good people, good personalities to talk about it.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. So, and would you have any final words for our million viewers?
I think it's been really fun making all of this series, and I would love to come to other plants. So if our companies are listening, please invite us, and also be open for students to come, because as a student, I would love to come to this plant and just having a tour. And I think from my 2 years in GCM right now, I've only went once. So if I have more opportunities for that, not only for me, for other students, younger and stuff, I think it'd be great.
I just had another idea. Student print day, where companies open up their doors to print students.
Couple of
That'd be
big
fun.
buses. They pick them up at TMU, they drive around GTA, or if it's
Yeah.
DC,
There's
they
a
drive
lot of
around
printing
Buses,
companies.
DC.
buses, or it's planned that people get where they got to go on their own because they're coming from wherever they're coming from, and it's not full in a
Yeah.
day. But we do something to identify the day as Student Print Day.
Print day.
I mean, we have International Print Day, and we have whatever you have a day for something else, and we just find it that works well, and then owners could embrace it. And when you have Denim Day and all those other days, everyone in the company is ready to entertain and open the doors for young print students.
I kind of like that.
That'd be it's like bring
Nice.
your kids to school to work day, but the students.
I don't know if I like bring your kid to work day, but definitely open your doors for a student,
Yes. No, this is fun. Yeah, I would love that.
right? And it doesn't cost anybody anything. And if you're a
Yeah.
print owner and you're listening, open your door. You don't know who walks in the door. Right? The other day I did a podcast with a sign guy who does like channel letter signs, big signs, and he goes, "I'm a little biased." He goes, "But everybody should have a sign on their door because otherwise you walk by and no one knows who you are." And then
Yeah.
the sales guy thought, "Oh my God, no, no, no. My best customer was a guy who didn't have a sign on the door, and I knocked on his door, went in, and he was a volume user of print. He just didn't want anyone to know him." So it works both ways. But on our side, we got to promote it. We got to have open house, student day. Let's bring it up. I got some other ideas that come with that, and we could see what we could do.
Thank you.
Thank
Cool.
you.
Appreciate
right.
this opportunity, Warren.
Oh, listen, pleasure's mine. And if you got something happening, call me up and we'll do this again. And I'm happy to help promote not every day because I got other people to have on. But we could do mini podcasts, right? And then
That'd be
use those
fun.
clips to promote. So I'm always free and always available to help you guys out. For everybody who made it the distance, and you did make it the distance because it's a great topic, just don't forget anything we said. Do what you can to promote youth in the industry. Open up your doors, let them come in, let the young people talk to young people, old people. It's not all about you. Time to open up and make room at the table. I'm going to leave it with that. Warren Werbitt, printing's alive. I love print, and let's all do what we can to make it happen. Cheers.